This is Dan Lawson with the Alliance for American Manufacturing. Today I am back in Canton, North Carolina. I'm talking to Reverend James Johnson of the Church of God of Prophecy.
Yes.
And James, how long have you been in the Canton area?
We got here August the 5th of '89. Came here straight from the military to pastor church here.
Oh, very nice.
Been here since then.
And you also work at the mill?
Yes, sir. Yes,
And how long have you been at the mill?
I've been there 4 years now.
And what job do you do at the mill?
I work cook help on fiber line number 1 down in pork manufacturing.
Okay, very good. Now, in your time here as pastor, how's your congregation? Is it growing and being successful with some of its endeavors in the community?
Yes, very much so. As a matter of fact, we moved back here. We were pastoring a church in Marion, North Carolina for 3 years, and moved back here about a year ago. Attendance used to be 9 before we left about 3 years. Now we're up to about 60 or 70, so the Lord is really blessed. It's working real well.
And what type of activities is your church involved with the community?
We go to nursing homes, we sing, we preach, we go out to our community and serve meals. Right now we have projects going on where we're cleaning up our communities and cutting trees down and everything and cleaning up the community, so we're pretty active in the community.
Now you're one of the 5 churches that works the community kitchen, is that correct?
Sir. Yes, sir.
And how many meals they take care of? They serve meals every night to people?
Yes, sir, every night. And our church is in charge of the 4th, I think, Saturday of the month that we go over there.
Oh, that's fantastic. Have they seen a rise in the people coming to the community kitchen?
Yes, very much so. I think the economy has put everyone in a bind where they have to come and try to supplement what they have, and the kitchen helps out with that.
Now, as far as the mill here in the town, the mill's the largest employer. How many employees do they have here?
1,123.
Wow. And they're all, I mean, it's spread out through the county.
Yes.
And some people even come as far away as South
Tennessee,
Carolina.
South Carolina, yes. We have employees traveling that far every day.
Now, how important is this mill to this community? How do they meld together?
I think we weld together very well. Without this mill, I think this community, matter of fact, not only do I think, I know that this community would die and become a ghost town without the mill.
And is the mill active and the employees active in some of these activities?
Very, very active. Being the chaplain of the mill here, I see the activity of our people here. I'm looking at the sacrifices that they made just so that this mill can stay open, the reduction in the pay that they took just so this mill can stay up so that they can be an asset to this community.
And in your time, you must have heard the stories of when this mill in its heyday had 5,000 people.
Yes.
And how it's changed. And, of course, it's changed hands a couple of times.
Right.
It used to be a champion mill. In the future, I mean, what opportunities other than the mill here are in this town for young people to work? There
is none. And actually, there is a young group of professionals now that are trying to change that, trying to make it a better place to live in and for an environment, because God forbid that anything would happen to the mill. Then we have our young people that are trying to do something right now to prevent that in case that happens.
We've talked to some members of the Chamber of Commerce, and,
yes,
and they're concerned because they realize that some of the small businesses, if the mill wasn't here, you wouldn't have the small businesses. Right. Is that how you feel also?
That's exactly how I feel, because I came here working as a pastor and then going to take a job at Hardee's, and seeing how Hardee's would be, seeing just how Hardee's alone was affected, it will make a big difference.
Wow.
Big difference.
And we've explained this, the issue on the paper case. Even though this mill isn't directly affected,
yes,
you understand why we're down here.
Yes, yes.
Because, you know, somewhere down the line, the mill may be affected, right, and we want to have people educated.
Exactly.
What do you think, if something happened to this mill, I mean, worst case scenario,
right,
what would happen to this town as far as the people, where would they go? Where would they find work?
I believe there'll be a great exodus. And not to overemphasize the term, But I honestly believe that this would become a ghost town if this mill closed down, the people would exit because there would be absolutely nothing here.
Because
Nothing.
other industry has left this area already,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
It used to be shoe industries.
Welco, Deco, all of them has left the area because of that. And the economy, those people had to come and find new skills. And then you're taking now a reduction in pay where you're used to one comfort level, and now you have to take a reduction and try something else.
Now, speaking on a personal level, with you and your family, this job at the mill, has it given you opportunity to give more to your family?
Oh yes, because now that my children, all of my children, me and my wife have empty nest. So all my children are gone. But you know how it is when they leave home, they got to call mom and dad for this, that. So it works out tremendously well for my family now, right now.
And this type of job, I mean, the manufacturing job, these are really the middle class jobs of our nation.
Yes, sir.
If we look at if something happened, how would you continue? What would you have to do if something happened to that mill?
Right now, I believe, I know that I could go back to Hardee's for a job, but I'm looking at, you're talking about where we at now with pay, and
Yeah.
you're going down to $5, $6, $7 an hour. That will put a strain on the budget. Okay,
Be a total life change for the family.
total life change.
So when we look at what's happening, and we have the international trade case is going to be determined sometime in the middle of September.
Right.
If you personally had the opportunity to talk to the International Trade Commissioner, Marilyn Abbott, and tell her what this mill means to this town, what would you tell her?
If I could sit personally with her, I think that looking at our situation here and how close-knit this community is, everyone here would be affected. Not only just in our area, this would affect the region, not just Hayward County, this would affect the region. There will be such a great exodus from this region that I don't think Western North Carolina would survive.
Wow. Well, listen, Reverend, I really appreciate your time. I appreciate everything you do for the local here and your leadership in the community. I was up at that community kitchen last night, and I was nothing but impressed with the youth groups in there working right alongside with other volunteers.
Yes, yes.
You can really tell that through leadership of the 5 churches here, they've done a great job
Yes.
with bringing this community together.
They are to be highly commended.
I thank you for all your work, and I thank you for your time and spending time with us for this interview. Thank you.